Hey guys, let's chat about some of the wildest stories I've heard while doing henna. Trust me, you won't believe some of the stuff people share. There was this beautiful woman who used to come to me for henna, but half of her body was badly burned. It was heartbreaking to see, but I didn't want to be rude, so I just kept doing her henna. Seeing her in that condition really tugged at my heartstrings. One of her hands was also severely burned. I couldn't bear to see her in such a bad condition. It was scary, but I knew I had to suck it up and be professional. Despite my discomfort, I continued to do her henna, trying my best to provide a sense of normalcy and comfort during her visits. One day, I finally built up the courage to ask her what had happened to her. It took a lot for me to bring it up, but I felt a strong urge to understand her story. She told me her story, and it was the saddest story I had ever heard. My heart broke as she shared her pain and struggles. This is what she told me. She was popular for her light skin and beauty, and she was the only light-skinned girl in her family. Her beauty got her so many proposals, which she turned down because she felt she wasn't ready. Of course, she turned them all down. She was young and wasn't in any rush. One day, an irresistibly handsome guy came to her door and asked for her hand in marriage. To her surprise, she found herself saying yes. The young man was popular in the community. So, her mother invites all the family members to celebrate, and soon the house is filled with cousins and all aunties, gathering for the joyous occasion. It wasn't long before the word went around the community that she said yes. And you can imagine the amount of people who were so jealous that she pulled in this extremely handsome guy. He had everything: money, owned property. It was every girl's dream. Anyway, let's fast forward to the night before her engagement ceremony. Her mother's sister and her cousins came over to help prepare for the wedding. Her henna artist was busy doing her bridal henna, and they were getting all the last-minute details sorted before the big day. After a busy day, everyone left. But one of her closest cousins stayed behind to help her with last-minute things. She was so tired. But her cousin insisted on taking care of the remaining tasks, while the bride got some much-needed rest before her big day. At this point, I could see the tears welling up in her eyes, and let's just say I wasn't prepared for what she told me next. I felt bad for asking this lady at this point, and I said she didn't have to continue if she wasn't comfortable. But soon after, you could see those tears turn into anger. You could feel her pain through each word as she finished telling her story. So she continued, explaining that after the long day, she could barely talk and fell into a deep sleep, while her cousin, who was a few years older than her, and with whom she was very close, went to tidy up and clean the kitchen. The next thing she knew, she woke up screaming, feeling like her skin was melting, with her cousin standing over her with an evil, sinister smile. She didn't know what was happening. The pain was unbearable. Burning everywhere. She said, "At this point, I was better off dead with the amount of pain. I didn't know what to do, why my cousin stood there not even helping." Her cousin was holding a large pot, and soon she realized that her cousin had poured super hot oil over her while she was asleep. My heart broke into 100 pieces at this point, and now her anger turned into sadness again. Then she said, I asked her why. "What did I ever do to you?" And she replied, "You have everything. You took everything and left me with nothing. Now you have nothing." You could see she had no remorse for what she'd done. She had an evil smirk that will haunt me until this day. Then she paused for a while, and the silence was killing me. I wanted to burst out crying. My heart couldn't bear the thought of such evil people existing in this world. I felt so angry for her. She took the words right out of me. She said in the saddest voice ever, "How can such evil people exist in this world?" She was my own flesh and blood, my best friend. What made me admire her even more was when she said, "I thank Allah every day. It could have been worse. I didn't get married in the end. They thought I lost everything, but I'm progressing in life, and she has to live with what she's done for the rest of hers." Sometimes we have to be careful who we share our happiness with, because not even our own blood is happy for us. She was already married with kids when she told me this story, but she didn't marry the first guy since she spent most of the time in the hospital getting surgery to reconstruct her face. In the end, she had a happy ending. As for that envious, evil woman, she got away with what she did because it happened back home. But her justice will come on Judgment Day.